Bristleback and having Green Dragonite, they synergize pretty nicely. Plus, also you have Tag Team. So quite a lot of synergy in terms of physical damage output that they do have.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they work with it. And Tearlaments, speaking of synergy, 3 of these players were on that really great qualifier run last year for Team Zero.
Yep.
You had 70, who was playing mid at the time, ZZQ, who was there, and Erica. So 3 of these guys who have been in this moment before have had this experience of winning these qualifiers. So it's, you know, when you see just random stack names like Tearlaments, people think, oh, the stack's going to lose easy. Yakult's going to walk all over them. But, I mean, these guys have been in this position. The name's just different. It's just gone from Team Zero to Tearlaments this time. So I'm definitely curious how 70, because for a while I thought 70 was going to be one of the next up and coming mids. I mean, he used to have some real style points over in the mid lane, even when it's hard to make a name mid in China.
Yeah, who was the one, again, we keep going back to Aster Aries, who was their mid laner?
Yi was their mid laner at one point. White Album was their mid
White
at one
Album.
point.
Yeah, that's the guy that I love to watch. He was also a bit throwy during the DPC time. It was always fun to watch. You never know what was going to happen in the game.
I mean, there was also for a split second, I don't know if you remember this mid, Love You Love Me.
Oh, I remember it. I always feel they have at least 2-3 nicknames, so some of them got really mixed up in my head because they have like their moments of brilliance for like half a year, then they disappear, they come back, they may get a new nickname. And looking at the mid lane, I think that's going to be the more interesting one in terms of what's going to be happening. Emo, this guy is super crazy. This guy is extremely skilled, but also loves to push the limits of the hero. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do so in this particular matchup.
Pausing and disconnecting is Emo for a moment. We saw some matchups that should be a little bit closer that went completely differently due to the fact that the mid player themselves was just, it was just a big skill difference. Definitely curious to see how Echo kind of holds on against Emo, because when you think about their 2 careers, like, Emo's been at the top always, and Echo has kind of found his way towards the top later in his career, where he played for teams like King Gaming Luminous, CDC, and I think towards the end of LGD's lifespan, he was on LGD at one point in those last 2 years or so. But Emo has always been really high up there, and you see guys like this who just absolutely rip up every single one of their opponents. As we see some players starting to reconnect. The equals, I believe, stands for lag. Or maybe it's lag? I don't know. It's always so confusing. I always forget. I should have just stayed confident and just said yes. That's what it stands for.
You should have just lied. A lot of damage on old 11 in this bottom lane. Getting constantly harassed. Boboka was staying out of XP range for a little bit, trying to get some extra levels to his Magnus so that he can get level 2, get a point in Skewer so that he can run away. But also to point out, this is Carry Bristleback. When we see it, and we rarely see it nowadays, he is still played on red facet. You want to have that extra damage, but I guess he thinks with having Dragonite in the team, the synergy is way too good, and they want to play for slightly earlier timing, having Beastmaster, Dragonite. It is a lot of objective taking. They can go for Tormentor, they can go for Roche relatively early on. Beastmaster, his timings are still pretty much the same. When he was going for the Aghanim Scepter, you would expect him to get Roshan between like 12 and 15 minutes, depending how good of a game you're having. And then it's pretty much the same thing. If Beastmaster's off to a good start, you can still get Helm of the Dominator. You have pretty much one of the best Roshan taking lineups. Maybe you can throw in Ursa in there, but you have Tag Team, you have all the minus armor from Bristleback, from Dragonite as well, and Beastmaster. So quite easy objective taking for them. Yakult brothers will definitely need to be aware of that.
Yeah, when you're able to go from objective to objective and start controlling the map, things get pretty difficult if you are losing your ability to kind of farm up, especially when you've got somebody like Medusa that wants to take up a good amount of the farm of the map. We'll see how Fly does. You know, as long as it's not him on a Morphling, I have faith. But 7E just kind of standing in his face. He's also got this Bleak Hallucination glitched cosmetic. So him and FY sharing a couple of glitch cosmetics. Get that quick showcase view. Always looks pretty cool.
Just a question, Benjamin. Would you die if you don't say it, that he has Bleak Hallucination? You just have to get it out of the system, huh?
I did, because it wasn't FY this time, you know?
It's different. I see. It's a different player.
Yeah, it's completely different. There are some other cool ones that we don't see as much. I mean, hopefully we see it maybe at TI, but Innocence has a Trail of the Burning Doom Undying, which is really cool. And there was somebody, it might have been SCCC, who has like a Trail of the Burning Doom Lycan, which is even cooler.
What happened to SCCC? I know that he had some perfumes.
Oh, was that a meme or did
that actually
No,
happen?
that was real. That actually existed.
He was
that
so
newbie
popular
perfume
at the time that people were like, you know what? I don't care about, like, this was pre-Bathwater, right? Before people were big on that, they were like, oh man, yeah, Dota players, I want to have that scent of SCCC.
What do you think the essence of a Dota player scent really is?
Well, what's the essence? It's I don't know what it would smell like. Probably like your mom's basement combined with sweat, 3 days of
popcorn.
not showering, and extreme skill, and a little bit of what can we add into the mix?
Excellence.
Yeah,
you got to do something, because it's got to be the commercials. It's got to be, you know, you always just see the excellence. 3 days of not showering. And then you got to give it like a really cool name. And the bottle has to be shaped like something insane. Like it would be a Shadow Fiend bottle. And you'd spray it. It'd be good.
If I would be making Dota perfumes right now, I would make them in bottles that look like Dota bottles, and also the colors as well. I would call them Haste.
Ooh.
Where you can apply it fast. It would have like an insane amount of what's it called? The spray would it would spray it out. Yeah, the pressure. It would spray it out faster. Double damage.
So
it would have double the amount of all the pheromones and shit inside, so it would stay longer.
Yeah. And then illusion would give you the illusion of being
invisibility. It would be nothing in the bottle.
It's just
it would
the
just
bottle.
be empty. Yeah, exactly.
And it's a blind box, so you don't know which perfume
illusion,
you're gonna get.
You wouldn't sell like 100 milliliters. You would sell 3 of those, and they would be 33 milliliters. So you would kind of split them.
I think we're gonna have to make this a reality. We'll find somebody, but we're back into the game. We're unpaused, ready to keep the action going. Emo behind a little bit in terms of CS,
at
least for the moment. See if it continues. But Echo doing an all right job holding his own to the self-proclaimed god of the mid lane. Everything pretty quiet. Where do you think First Blood's gonna happen?
Bottom lane is not really a killer lane. Bobica might get caught, but it's 1 point in Viscous Nasal Goo. I would say probably top. I think Oli might try to square up against Tusk and Beastmaster, and somebody's gonna die. Because I don't think Fly's gonna die. He's having a good time. In terms of CS, Skewer back.
Under the tower, but these quills, they do hurt a little bit, and you kind of want to not let them stack up, as Bobica and Old 11 need to be very careful coming under the tier 1 tower. And Bobica might just get chased even further. But him and Old 11 have to hide under the tier 2 tower against this Bristleback.
Ah, look at this. One of the finest creations we had. It's been Morphling patch for quite some time, TB patch as well, but Bristleback has been very annoying for the last, like, 2 years pretty much now.
Yeah, he's held his own in the meta. A little bit surprising. Emo now level 6, by the way, so he doesn't have access to the Dream Coil while he was coming down here with the for the Bounty Rune. I thought maybe he'd make the rotation, but probably would have only happened if he did have that Dream Coil ready. You do have 7E rotating towards mid, and Warlock's going to be around the area as well. 30 seconds to that 6-minute power rune. Elder Dragon form, and there's the Illusory Orb curving and throwing him up onto the high ground. 7E unable to stick with him for the moment, but doesn't continue to go under the tier 1 tower.
Interesting. Neo just picked up Orb of Frost. That's his item. It looks... This is budget Scotty if you don't have enough damage to buy a Scotty. It's good against Dragonite. Reducing health restoration by 13%.
Interesting move by Emo to jump in right in front of Echo. They drop the Tombstone down. They've got the Shackle. But now the Tombstone staying on needs one more shot to die. And they finally get first blood. They will. Bobica taking out Echo. And now the Dream Coil going to be committed onto the Tusk. 7E has the Shackles, but doesn't really have the life to survive. Needs one more right click to end up dying, but now up onto the high ground, still running away. Ollie will get hit by this Snowball as he gets the kill on a 7E. So 2 kills there for Yakult. They don't lose anything. They do actually give up a Tombstone over onto the DK, but overall, first blood and a +1 is really good for them.
This Orb of Frost actually making quite a lot of difference. It is a lot of slow and range heroes. Good against Dragonite because he was in the range form. So 13% slow as well as 13% health restoration reduction. I don't think I'll ever get used to this instead of saying healing or regeneration reduction. But I guess I'll have to. Otherwise, I will not be hired.
Bad news for me. Well, you'll get used to it. I know you will. You always find a way.
I find a way. It took me like 4 years to remember Octarine Core. For some reason in my brain, I was mixing up Bloodstone and Octarine Core. I had to open, like, whenever I was casting and if I was in-game, I had to open the shop to know which item I was talking about.
What you need to do is just think of it like magic. Reading the card explains the card. Reading the item explains the item. You got this. I trust.
Funny story. So he taught me how to play Magic, and he makes shit up.
Okay.
If he needs to win, he will say that it should interact this way. Then we play another game, and suddenly it's a complete switch. If we switch the decks, then it doesn't work for me anymore. But also saying that reading the card explains the card. I have no clue with other interactions. Doesn't explain how the stack works or on any other of the mechanics in the game, but I'm slowly getting into it.
You're getting there. Respect the hustle. Well, Dragon Tail onto Emo, just about to hit level 7. He's going into the Witchblade. A couple of stacks here for the Beastmaster available. Gonna try and take it with 7E. He'll do what he can to just grab some gold. He's already got this Helmet of Dominator. Who deals with these dominated creeps best for Yakult?
That's the easy question. They don't.
Okay.
That's could be Massive Serpent Ward. If they actually shackle and drop down Massive Serpent Wards, they can kill it. Later on, they will have no problems dealing with it because you will have Medusa. I also want to see what Fly is going to be building into. Probably going to be standard, get Mantis style, get Butterfly, but I've seen that Medusas don't tend to pick up Silver Edge anymore. It feels like this item has kind of fallen off. Not many people want to buy it, but it could be good in this game. Great against Bristleback, great against Dragonite, having that break mechanic could make a lot of difference.
Bringing a lot of heroes here, missing the stun with the Centaur Conqueror. Unable to grab that. I was looking at Beastmaster for a second, got confused, realized it is SRF, but now he's AFA. So sticking to the 3-letter scheme, but different 3 letters this time around. Having a decent game as Beastmaster, sitting there pretty much even net worth with this Medusa. Primal Roar used, and Ollie's going to drop. That'll be the first kill for the side of Tearlaments. That's only their first kill, but they are up 2,000 net worth.
They're gonna hit a very strong timing once Beastmaster picks up his helm, and he's getting very close to it. Should have it in the next 2-3 minutes, depending how much farm he's gonna be able to get. And Medusa is a super slow hero. I see that Old 11 kind of recognizes the problem and is not going, okay, Undying, move. Ollie, it happens. Every professional esports gamer, it did happen to him at least once in the career ever since we introduced Ceaseless Dirge. Yeah, what a name for the ability. Just sitting there.
Dream Coil and the gigantic Serpent Ward.
Oh, look at that damage.
And it is some real good damage for him. And that massive Serpent Ward hitting real hard.
You cannot kill this thing. 600 damage, level 1.
That's crazy. They go for Ollie again. They'll find a mid for a second time. Back-to-back kills as we take a look at the Serpent Ward inside the trees. It's as big as a tree.
No, it's called Massive Serpent Ward.
Yeah.
For a reason. And to go back to what I was saying, Old 11, he is going for Blink Dagger immediately. This is a bit of a difficult kill to get. Maybe he tried to force a rotation.
Primal Roar even committed on this. A lot of damage on the Bobica, but he's got the Hex. Do they have enough to finish off
Cobalt
SRF?
Cup, let's go.
Ooh, they got him. Can't get up those steps. Shackle available again, and they use that Cobalt Cup and dig out a kill.
This is such a cool item that we added, because Cobalt with the Chalice was my favorite creep ever since he has been added to the game. Croakers are definitely up there, and the boys, but something about the guy holding this cup is just way too good.
Skewer under the tower, and they're going to use that RP. Chaotic Offering comes through, but this doesn't look like it's going to save Erica. The Fatal Bonds are nice, but there's just nothing to follow it up. Bristle not surviving long enough to make those Fatal Bonds matter, and they show that they can control this Bristleback and get a pretty easy kill overall.
He's going to chase him down. Emo does have Region Rune, but nothing to stop the TP with.
Nope.
And suddenly,
Easy TP out.
This lineup from Radiant has kind of fallen off. Like, if they make another mistake like that, the Cold Brothers, they're definitely back. This death of Beastmaster and 2 deaths from Erica are definitely going to hurt them.
Massive Serpent Ward was used over mid, by the way, so that's going to be on cooldown for a little bit. As we see it again. It's a Cobra in a pot, that Serpent Ward.
Did you know that when you are playing the flute, it does absolutely nothing to Cobra?
And how did you find this out?
The guy told me before he died. Yeah, before he died.
I thought you tried it. And it
No,
still
have you
went
seen
for
how
ya.
big Cobras are?
Yeah,
Like,
they're huge.
Yeah, they're massive.
They're a scary snake. Snakes kind of scare me a little bit.
I'm sure the house spider scares you as well, not just the alpha predators.
I hate that you know that spiders do scare me as well.
Yeah, you're afraid to sleep without the light on, so.
I do have a little nightlight.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah. I don't actually have
Well, now
a
the
nightlight. I
chat's
have to actually.
gonna think, well, how does he know if he has, how does he know if Benjamin sleeps with the lights on? I did myself dirty. Back to the game. Emo continues to farm up. There's not much happening. 7 kills in 14 minutes.
It's a little bit slow, this one. We've been seeing a lot
game.
more of, I would say our first 2 series of the Qualifier were definitely a lot more action-packed. But, I mean, this is kind of what you expected from Yakult a little bit with how fast you said Fly was going to make progression anyway. But now that they've got this Blink Dagger, they have RP and Dream Coil and everything, we could see Yakult start to get a little bit more aggressive if they find the opportunity.
You do have Blink Dagger available on Echoes, and then I don't know if they can kill him from 100 to 0. Let's see.
They can try.
They're trying.
There's There's no tier
Stick
2 to
doesn't
get
get it
to,
off.
so there's nobody to come over. He's
Even
gonna
Warlock
die.
was there with the golem, so that was definitely kill, and nobody responded immediately. Ooh, Ollie got yeeted by Roshan. It's a lot of damage, and this is something you talked about, to drop down that Serpent Ward in the mid lane immediately, play with the catapult. Seems like Yakult brothers, they feel comfortable going into the mid/late game without having to rush things. Maybe they can get a pick off, skewer somebody back, use a coil, get a kill, go back to farming.
Yeah, that's what I thought they would do, but I haven't really seen them get... Oh, I mean, the last kill was under the tier 2 tower. It was almost forced by Tearlaments with how much they were pressuring forward. But it really hasn't been Yakult kind of going out there and getting a kill. At least not yet.
Oh.
Which is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking at what Old 11 has in his quick buy. He's going for Hand of Midas. I don't think I've seen that item in a really long time. In theory, considering that the games are longer, like the average game time was around like 40 minutes during the last tournament, it does feel like it could fit into the meta, seeing that you can't really end the games, but people are not picking it up.
Boca getting that tower, by the way, but Erica getting that Serpent Ward, got 224 gold for it. And this is something that you talked about, objective taking for Tearlaments. They're heading towards Roche.
Yeah, they should definitely use this opportunity. Roshan dies basically in 5-10 seconds with the damage that you have. Tag team is maxed out. All that minus armor. Erica will pick it up going into SNY. So this is going to be a very scary timing. If Yakult brothers lose a fight, if they're not going to be able to push the waves, I think Emo will need to be on a mission in this game as well. As soon as he picks up his Blink Dagger, try to cut the waves, because Radiant will want to group up, go together, because this is a very strong 5-man lineup.
A smoked up Qualifier actually came through right over here. By the way, also speaking of Midas,
Boboka has
Boboka's
Hand of
also got a
Midas.
Midas. They're gonna have to turtle pretty hard for this. I mean, they lose a fight relatively soon. They could be pushing high ground for the side of Tearlaments. So you now have to turtle to get these Midases to pay off. We'll be picking up a second one soon, but Fly, he's in some trouble. That Orchid came through from Echo. They do have AFA, SRF coming through around the bend, but don't really commit anything more forward onto Fly or try to go for those kills.
Yeah, they need to get out on the map and try to get some farm.
Now they smoke on the side of Yakult, so they're even willing to farm or fight. Let's see what they can get out of this. Maybe they get a Blink RP, but they'll start their attention. It's onto the Bristleback. They may not even need RP. They take the Aegis to start. Off to the side goes Echo, looking for his way to get back into the fight to help out this Bristleback. Can he find anybody? The Hex comes out from Boboka. They've got themselves a chaotic offering. They get the kill to Ollie, but they'll end up losing Erica for a second time. And now they've got the shackles locking up Echo, who's trying to get around the back. The RP under the tier 3 tower. This goes horribly for Tearlaments. As Yakult, they're the aggressors, and Echo tried to take a long road around the back and ended up paying for it.
What a beautiful fight. Bristleback, usually he thinks he's unkillable, having this Vanguard being like backed up by the team. You have Rock from Warlock, but doesn't seem like it's enough. It was a very well executed fight from Yakult brothers. Skewer back into Massive Serpent Wards, into Tombstone. He dies immediately. And then they kill him one more time. Medusa did pop the ulti. They focused a different heroes. And then Dragonite as well gets skewered and gets RP'd under the tower. This is the fight that Yakult brothers needed to take, because if they lose the fight, they probably lose the side as well. They were fighting close to the tier 2 tower. They have more than enough damage. And you can also see that this Beastmaster creep, it is dying to Shadow Shaman. Serpent Ward kills it in like 5-7 hits.
It was, I mean, Shaman was a huge impact in that fight. He instantly hexed Echo, who jumped down, trying to catch them in the back. Bobica really making it work out for the side of Yakult. That fight doesn't go on too long. They don't let it ferment for that much time. But things starting to look really positive for Yakult. The later this game goes, the better it's going to be for them. They definitely have the scaling opportunities with the Midases, with Medusa on their side. Butterfly getting close to being done here for Fly as well.
This
They're in
is
a really
big
good
item
spot.
upgrade. You're playing against a lot of physical damage against Dragonite, tag team, right clicks, bristleback. It also means that Fly most likely is not gonna die. But again, Tearlaments with their draft, they're very good at taking objectives, so they will take another one on the map. 70 will get it. It's a really good shard. Unfortunately for him, he has only 1 point in ice shards. So wants to max that out, lower the cooldown, increase the damage.
One of the better shards for potential zone denial. But this is, you know, all time now that is just being spent on Medusa getting farm. That Butterfly is finished, and Fly was hard to kill in that last fight, harder to kill in the next fight. And it's just not going to get much easier for them. And they're going Ags on Magnus. So trying to get this Midas to pay off. Bobica, he's using that Midas to go for an Aether Lens. And he's got this massive Serpent Ward to try and do some damage here onto the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane.
It's only level 1 Serpent Ward. Level 2 increases the damage up to 1,000 damage, which is pretty insane to think about. And this tower is going to fall. As you said, Butterfly finished on Medusa. This is going to be a big upgrade in terms of his damage output and also defensive capabilities. Ult 11. Going for the skewer back, but doesn't get it this time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
He's only 1,300 gold away from picking up this Ags as well. When you've got the constant in power, you're getting a little bit of space to farm. You farm at a decent chunk when you've got the open space. He is bottom of the net worth in terms of cores, but when the map gets a little bit more relaxed, we're going to see him start to really pick up the farm. What's Fly going for next, Scotty? Okay.
Wants more stats. It is a very good Medusa item. Ever since we changed the recipe back to Ulti Orb, it does give you 35 stats, and it's also very good against Dragonite, of course. Health restoration, extra slow, Ult 11. Look at him. Easy 250 gold. There's some objectives to take if we're talking about Helm of the Overlord, Mass Serpent Ward, the Giga one, and also Tombstone. So there's a lot of random gold on the map, especially if Bobica is also going to be playing like that, dropping the Serpent Wards in the middle of nowhere or just putting it behind Fly. We could maybe try to punish that next time.
I believe he's only given up one Serpent Ward for the bounty it's worth.
And it's very difficult to kill it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it.
Hitting for 10-20 now. But they are playing a bit forward. They might want to wait on... And Erica, he went... Sanjiniyasha has Halberd looking for a heart next. He's going to want to try and get that heart ready to go. But
this is what I was talking about. Kill that Giga Ward. It's almost done.
Ooh, 294 gold for AFA. Is that worth it, though, to put that damage only on a tier 1? Doesn't feel like it.
He almost killed the tower, which is fine. Nothing's happening on the map. He's trying to make something happen, draw some kind of attention, fish for information. So this required Beastmaster to show exactly where he is. Rest of the team, they are making a move in the mid lane.
Can they catch Emo, though? He's been pretty elusive. Doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. Has picked up the boots of travel with the blink
11.
and the Witch Blade. But now Walrus Punch coming through. Old 11 in trouble. Silence up thanks to the Orchid coming out from Echo. And unable to skewer away. 70 gets credit for the kill and takes out that Magnus. He's just short of having the money for that Ags. But the side of Yakult are going to avoid this fight. That means they're going to lose the tier 2 mid.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Tearlaments slowly still keeping up, but they didn't find this opportunity with the first Aegis to go and try to punish, go for the high ground. This lineup was indeed made to be able to finish the game relatively quickly, but Yakult Brothers seems like they know about it, so they are trying to stall as much as they can. In the bottom lane, Medusa split pushing with the illusions. Bobica, again, has Mass Serpent Wards ready.
Yeah, 5 seconds. He's staying down here farming nearby.
He's gonna
he knows
drop
this creep
that,
wave's
and
coming.
somebody
Yeah,
will
for
need
sure.
to come.
Is under attack.
Just doing 1,000 damage, forcing back the Bristle.
It's almost 150 damage per hit.
All right, well, he took care of that pretty quickly. Cooldown pretty significant at 110 seconds. But he did force the Bristle back, so he has to come all the way back. Yeah?
Yeah, that's good.
Roche is up, but this could be a fight. This could be a fight for Yakult. I mean, they've got a lot. They've got just about the Scotty ready here for the Medusa. I think this is definitely a spot where Yakult should be a lot more willing to contest Roche.
What do you think about Green's Bristle passive? I think it's not bad.
The Snot Rocket?
Yeah, it's not
I like it a lot.
Emo?
Dream Coil committed. Snaps, Old 11, Horn Toss. Screws him all the way back, but they go to the Primal Road. It's going to be on the Fly. Fatal Bonds hits 3 heroes. Ali actually ends up dying so quickly, and he's going to work on this Tombstone. He'll take out Bobica. Both supports dead. Emo right in front of the face of this Bristle, but Fly now being focused by Echo has AFA over to the side, and ZZQ with the help. But can they get this kill? I mean, they've lost themselves Old 11, and Fly's all alone. Everybody's here. They have the Walrus Punch to come through. Fly will be continued to be stunned up, and he's dead. Triple kill for Erica. They did not have nearly enough of the team fight that they thought they did.
No RP used, no Medusa ulti. All the green lights are pretty much ready. Mass Serpent Ward slow. Tearlaments showing up strong in this game number 1. Bristleback, as you've seen, almost 5,000 damage dealt by him, and he's going in with, like, trying to go for unkillable build, picking up Heart, even though there is Scotty as well available, so that's going to be some healing reduction. But they are ready to go. Beastmaster, he pretty much has every single aura. He has Helm, he does have Drums, does have Pipe, and he's also bringing something on the Courier. That's going to be Crimson Guard as well. Great item against Medusa. Ready to go for the high ground. Alpha Wolf on top of that. Extra bit of a damage plus the banner. They need some big skewer backs into the tower, into Shackle to be able to kill the heroes.
Yeah, they really do. Fly feeling like he thought he was unkillable with the Scotty and the Butterfly Fly, but he ends up dropping as he gets sold out. Old 11 popped. Dream Coil's committed, but now Emo's in trouble.
That just might be it.
No buyback. They both die. Fly now again could be soloed out. They're going to take out the Tombstone for another 200 gold. The Walrus Punch comes in. Ollie's not going to survive this. The massive Serpent Ward is thrown down, but they'll get the kill in a Bobica. And Fly has to be the raid boss to push back Tearlaments.
Double buy. Both supports. They're still not done. They did manage to kill the barracks, but seeing 20 seconds without Magnus, 25 without Puck, they will push. And they have more than enough damage. This is Dragonite Bristleback we're talking about. They did have Alpha Wolf in the previous fight. All the auras already. I'm not sure how Medusa is going to be able to deal damage against this Crimson Guard.
A lot of time left on this Aegis. This is all falling apart for Yakult. Don't look like they have the damage. I mean, I didn't even realize Ollie has nothing. He
has quite
he has some 4,000 net worth at 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they've been not fighting. He's also dying. He's also been sitting in the fountain with Ceaseless Dirge for some time, not getting any gold.
He is in a real tough spot. I mean, the whole team is in a bit of a tough one right now. Not really feeling the power of Emo, and he needs to blink away.
70 has been on point. He's been getting these initiations, finding magnets before he can get anything off. Old 11 will need some big RPs. We'll need some big corgi tosses into the skewer backs because that's their only play that they could go for. Roshan is dead for quite some time, holding the Aegis for another 2 minutes, so they will still be able to use that. And again, buying another aura. Bristleback is going for AC. Not sure if he's going to be able to finish that for the high ground push, but these auras, they are stacking up, and it gets even more and more difficult for them to play the game.
They got that Tormentor immediately all jumped through the twin gate to go over towards bottom. Old 11 is dying in half a second. He has not been able to survive, but now they see Fly, but they've got the Horn Toss. They should be able to at least get this Tusk. And that might hold off Tearlaments for a little bit. He is a big part of their control.
It's the only play. Like, you need the skewer backs, otherwise you're not winning the fight. But we've seen throughout Dota history that when Magnus is on point, you can definitely be getting those kills. Fly, earning a lot of his mana with this freshly picked up
RP. Beastmaster, but there's the chaotic offering. Fatal Bonds comes through onto everybody. That's a huge problem. Ollie looking like he's gonna die again, but pops that kill card. They've got the snowball coming across. They get the kill on Old 11 and take out Bobica, but they end up losing AFA, and they're looking to maybe finish off Echo there too. Fly's got the damage this time, and he's gonna be able to take out the first life away from this Bristleback. Fly's starting to run the other way. ZZQ nearby, this massive Serpent Ward was doing a lot of extra damage as Emo jumps back, and Yakult with a fight like that have held on for the moment.
It was a one-man RP, but they got the Beastmaster, and yeah, this Medusa definitely popped off. Undying didn't deal that much damage, but it is a lot of slow. Tombstone was full duration on the high ground. Nobody attacked it, but Medusa having vision provided by the Tombstone just ripped them a new one. This is also level 20 Medusa now, so Mystic Snake extra 3 bounces does make a lot of difference. And also, to point out, Serrated Ship, like you start attacking someone immediately, 8% of their current HP. So this item, I would say, is very underrated in terms of how much damage you're actually dealing. And now he's starting to think about getting the bigger item. And he's actually going to be close to Daedalus. We're going to be seeing the fight one more time. You can see that Erika's mana got burned almost instantly, so he didn't have much mana to work with. And then Tombstone on the high ground, making a lot of difference.
I'd like to see the Serpent Ward in a little bit of a better spot in these fights, because the fight moved a little bit right as it was away from the Serpent Ward, but you can see the damage that Fly is doing, and overwhelms the side of Tearlaments.
They need to go. I think they can't really risk it in terms of letting this game go super late, because this lineup will definitely fall off. Something to point out is also the Dragonite did go for Bloodthorn, which is good because it gives you True Strike against Butterfly, but also it doesn't provide True Strike to your allies anymore. That's a really, really big nerf.
Would you have wanted him to just keep it in a work kit and go for something else?
I'm just thinking if MKB might have been better, but you're also like getting MKB for yourself, and then if you're focusing Medusa, not really. I think overall Bloodthorn is a better option because your allies, they still get extra damage, and we've seen them isolating Medusa multiple times. The downside of it is it can be dispelled. MKB cannot be dispelled if we're talking about him getting the Manta style off, and
right
now they're still in a good spot. They're 3 racks down. But they also have Magnus. And I also think that Old 11 might need to save some of his gold to have buyback potentially for the next fight. For now, I think BKB is also a good option if he's gonna pre-click his BKB and then go for the play. Because if he gets punched, he can get roared or stunned by Dragonite, he will die.
They ping. They saw this illusory orb come across and hit Echo, who had to amplify damage on him, but it's not going to matter. They'll Tiki Emo out. And with that, you can see Yakult kind of leave the base a little bit, moving forward, taking this outpost, trying to gain control back of the map on their side. Medusa thinking Disperser after the Daedalus. Shadow Shaman even thinking of a BKB. Has both these charges on this massive Pytus.
They're killing the creeps in front of him.
He can't get a creep. He's really searching.
Nothing to be found here as well.
Nothing here. Guys?
Losing the value.
Exponentially.
There it is.
Ooh, the double Midas. Feels so good. BKB for the bristleback. And Magnus commits to the buyout. So now short the buyback. The last time they went for Roche, it didn't go well. But Yakult, they fought back. It was an 11,000 net worth lead for the side of Tearlaments. They are trying. And I will say, the cloak has been upgraded, Lacoste. It is now a Glimmer Cape.
He also has Shard, so Tombstone, Grab Ally could come in very handy. Whoever gets initiated on by Beastmaster. Fly. He feels pretty much unkillable at the moment.
They're out and back. They're looking for the back lines. Horn Toss Skewer. Primal Roar comes through an old 11. Trying to get 3-shot. There's the power of that Shard. Godacoffer comes down. They look for the RP, but they've got the Snowball to save this Bristleback for the moment. He's trying to get away. They get the kill into Bobica. They take out the Shadow Shaman. The Serpent Ward is down, but they look over at Ollie. He's low. Down goes Old 11. There's going to be 3 heroes potentially dead if they can get Ollie, but he finds the Soul Rip. Heals up. Down goes ZZQ. 70 both fall. They only have buyback available on ZZQ. They've got the Shackle. It's onto the Beastmaster, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to get away, but they go to the Bloodthorn. They've also got Erica nearby, blinking to the Dragon Tail. Emo, though, he is stunned up, but not killed off just yet. Shackle connects onto Erica. Both out of mana. Very careful. He already bought back into the fight. Emo, 1 shot from dead, but Fly still moving forward. These axes are flying across. Emo, Glimmer Cape by Ollie, saved, and Gale guarding himself, so Ollie's able to walk away. But AFA is still on the run. The blink of the Shackle. Erica's going to turn at Bobica for a moment, but they're able to get the kill to the Beastmaster and take him out.
A very good fight for Yakult brothers. This Medusa, again, she's not getting contested at all. They're not focusing her down, seeing that they can't really deal with her, dealing 14,000 damage, more damage than the Radiant team did. It's getting pretty insane, and burning all of this mana, Disperser has been a really valuable pickup for them. Also, a little bit of a mistake there from Bobica. They did get the Skewer back onto Bristleback. He hexed him with level 15 talent that broke him, but extra bit of status resistance kicked in, and there was no shackles whatsoever.
He was really on point, was forced to buy back, but Bobica, some of those shackles, some of those movements were so prime time for him. And they will get this Aegis on a Fly. They also pick up the Refresher as well as the Cheese. Erica needs to be careful. Hit with that Disperser. Emo into the face of ZZQ. They go to the BKB. Echo trying to get the kill. They go to the Walrus Punch. They've got it. Now the Snowball, but Emo's dead. And this Stone Gaze with the Shackle connecting. They're going to commit the buyback from Emo. Old 11 needs to be careful. He dies very quickly. They drop down a massive Serpent Ward. They go to the BKB. It's going to be off Erica. Emo's dead again. His buyback symbol's not even gone. Primal Roar now on Old 11. Snowball coming through. Hits on a Fly. They've got the upheaval. Slowing these heroes down, but they hit the Shackle. It's going to be out of 70. Echo looking for his moment to jump back into the fight. They get the kill into the Tusk. He's dead for 70. But there's the Hairball thrown into Old 11 who pops the BKB. Bobica on the run, but he's going to be dead for a second time. in the long exchange. RP comes through. Fly disarmed, but he's trying to get the kill now. Pops that Manta, skewer away from him. Echo's gone, but he's got buyback and will use it. Fly just standing his ground so strong, looking after AFA. He tries to run, but Old Eleven's there with a skewer. No, misses off the mark, but then a does land, but he's still trying to run.
Oh, he went back.
Oh, went back, but has the boots of bearing. He's still quick enough to go downriver.
Okay, he managed to save the day. Went back for whatever reason, and still managed to get the blink out. But again, Medusa, every single fight, the damage number goes higher. Almost 20,000 damage in the previous fight. These numbers are insane. They can't focus her down. She also has cold-blooded, so this is this is like S tier shard. You don't buy it early. But any kind of spell that you use, it's also on relatively short cooldown, 12 seconds, gives you the snake, gives you the mana back, brings them into the stone. 62k damage. Okay.
Big numbers for Medusa. Fly trying to be the savior for Yakult. Looking into the Divine Rapier and picking up another 250 gold off that Ancient Black Dragon.
He also got level 25. He can upgrade his Aghanim Scepter, which could be pretty massive. You can have Disperser on your split shot. You can also have Daedalus and Scotty. I think this might actually be the better option than Divine Rapier, because I don't think he needs that much more damage. Like, you're still going to be dealing damage with your split shot, but it might be a little too risky, and you're also running out of slots, but you also need quite a good amount of gold to be able to get Aghanim Scepter.
He might think Divine Rapier as long as he's got this... Well, no, I'm saying as long as he's got this Aegis. That might be why he's, thinking about it, so... The problem is, though, to have it slotted, you're going to have to... If you want to have it for now, you're going to have to take something out. And what do you really want to give up?
Manta style.
But that's what's been helping him survive and be able to output this damage. The Manta's been such a huge part
of dispelling things. You have Disperser, so you probably want to take Manta style out. And there it is. It is coming on the courier. Minute and 45 seconds left on that Aegis.
A lot of time to work with this Divine Rapier. Is he gonna commit to it? Yeah, so he's not going to lock up anything. He'll take up the Manta like you suggested because he heard you. And now they're going to go up onto the high ground. And they've also got this massive Serpent Ward. It's only level 2 still, but what can they do? Emo's not here at the moment, and they've got the Beastmaster pushing bottom.
You know, might try to stop his TP with the coil.
Shards locking in Fly. And now they start to go down the mid lane. They're not even going for the other sides.
1 minute left on that Aegis.
A lot of time to work with this Aegis. Yakult trying to pull one back and steal this game number 1. Disarm, Disperser, that's used. Gets himself the Gorgon's Grasp. They've got the skewer back. It's going to hit onto AFA, and the damage coming through is so massive. He is dead. So now he's going to be forced to buy back. They lose the first tier 4. They've got creeps going into the top lane. They need to be careful about that. 30 seconds left on this Aegis. Primal War committed. It's going to be through, but they've got the Tombstone. He doesn't have a lot of mana still. Needs to be careful, but they hit the Hex. It's on Erica. And he starts to run back, but Echo finally making the jump in, goes in with the BKB. They've got the Dragon Tail, but the Glimmer Cape saving Old 11. It goes to the RP, lands on a couple of these heroes, and now they're going to lose Europe. Another RP coming through with a Refresher Shard. 70's dead. Echo gone. 2 minutes on the sidelines. This Dragonite dead for a while.
5 seconds. He's gone for 2 minutes. No buyback. It's on cooldown, so they're going to reset. Manta style back in, and he also has cheese available. Creeps are also inside the base, but there are no catapults, so they're going to be fine. They could go in and try to end the game. This is 4v5. Echoes, this is all he can do. Ping, defend, Radiant bottom tier 4 tower, because he's dead for such a long time. Minute and a half.
There goes the other tier 4 tower. Fly standing tall. Walrus Punch coming through. Needs to be careful. Doesn't have an Aegis this time around. The massive Serpent Ward. They go to the Fatal Bonds, but they look over as AFA is going to die another time. He's dead. No buyback. The throne exposed and in some trouble. Yakult looking to finish off this game. They do have a glyph, at least according to my screen, but they're not going to use it, and they'll lose the game, and Yakult take game number 1.
Oh, what a showing from Yakult brothers. They were definitely in a lot of trouble this game, but Medusa, like Steelers, they have no abilities that go through debuff immunity other than Supernova, which is not something that Lifestealers should be afraid of. So kind of feeling that Tearlaments, they had overall a much better draft in game number 1. This one is not going to be as easy to execute, and definitely giving the upper hand to Yakult brothers in this one.
We'll see if they can do that. We'll see if they can pull it off. It's game 1 that's probably still stuck in their mind with the fact that they were down quite a bit. I do kind of worry about the support duo of Tearlaments, but ZZQ Phoenix is one of his best heroes. I will say that. But we'll see what it's able to offer in a game like this. And one of the things that I'm interested to see is 70 on this Rubik, just because, you know, he is more so, I would say, a mid player at heart. And when you're playing kind of this show-stoppy hero, I'm wondering if, like, that mid play style kind of translates a little bit.
Yeah, I can't wait to get disappointed by Rubik position 4 one more time.
I was trying to give some faith, you know?
Now, this is basically what I was talking about yesterday about Shadow Fiend anti-mage carry. No matter what happens, these heroes are not winning the games. Same goes for Rubik. Rubik has been past his prime. We've seen
Yakult actually in a lot of trouble.
This is the last time I can remember Rubik being a good hero. Good harassment coming out on Echo.
Yeah, it's been a while since Rubik's been pretty reliable in terms of winning games. My most recent game was a Rubik game. I lost. So
well, there you go.
That's where I get my information from.
I'm sure if we asked the chat, they would probably say that everybody lost their last game that they played on Rubik. Whoever says different is definitely lying. Yeah, his pants are on fire.
Yeah. His pants are on fire. Curious to see how these lanes kind of pan out. If there's going to be a shot at maybe First Blood bottom. It looks like, if anything, there's First Blood potential there for Tearlaments, but Fly and Ollie, just Deluge right now. I'm curious in that lane.
It is not a strong lane. Lifestealer, Nagasari, not the lane that you would expect. The Lifestealer usually wants to be paired up with a ranged hero in the lane to make sure that he's getting the harassment, soaking up some of the damage. I mean, Nagasari is fine in terms of how she trades. You're also playing against Rubik, but you need quite a lot of mana. Deluge is 80 mana. Your mirror image is also 75 mana. So if you're losing all of that, I think it's very important that they secure some of the early CS for him. And they're playing aggressive in the bottom lane.
Playing aggressive in the top lane too. But AFA is alive, at least for the moment. Deluge, ooh, Ollie getting First Blood.
Yeah. She's very good at chasing. First of all, she has insane movement speed, 330. And also, it sets your movement speed, Deluge, to 230. So you're not running away from her. Good start. Brewmaster not respecting maybe the Nagasar. And as soon as they got that level 2, immediately started to play aggressive.
AFA, by the way, when he was known as SRF playing with RNG, Brewmaster was his go-to. So it's a little bit surprising to see him kind of get caught out, but we'll see how good his game gets. I think this is truly one of his better heroes. But yet to see anything of real contention just yet. 3 minutes in, soon to be the Lotus Petal available in the Lotus pool. Tap that for mana if you need it. But Erica getting pushed a little bit further back. Not the same game as he played on the Bristle. TA, at least for Erica's sake, maybe hoping to do or have a little bit more impact damage-wise. He did soak up a lot of damage in the last game, but this could be the difference maker. Now him on something like TA that can really blow up a couple of these heroes.
Mid lane, massive difference. 25 and 6 on Emo. Echo only sitting at 13 with 0 denies.
This is kind of something I was talking about in the last game. Echo against Emo. You know, are we just going to see Emo kind of pop off against Echo? And that's what's happening more so this time around. Echo in the last game held his own. Like, he played really well mid against Emo.
Yeah, but this time Echo is getting slammed pretty hard. 28 and 6, and it's not going to get easier for him by any means.
Emo just knows the movements too against this Void Spirit. Both these heroes very big time for him.
Yeah, Emo was the one who started the trend during Dragon League to start picking Void Spirit. Every other Void Spirit that I've seen didn't look nowhere as good as Emo's.
And the classic question mark was a Void Spirit game. Emo still doing some decent damage. Echo actually using the dissimulate to grab a courier. Got it right as Emo got his items delivered, so he at least gets something worthwhile in the mid lane. But 31 and 7, Emo pulling away pretty heavily, and is halfway to level 6. They need to be careful onto this tier 1 tower as well. Old 11 feeling very confident to try and go for something, and Ollie gets spotted by the tower, but now they go for Bobica. They got the mana. 3 shots, he got hit by that tower, so he's gonna die. But they hit the net. They've got the siphon onto Erica, and now Ollie telekinesis, and this is gonna be 2 kills for Tearlaments, overplaying their hand on Yakult.
Oof. That was on Bobica. Didn't do the math. He had 75 mana out of 80 that he needed for Shadow Realm. So he tried to bait him in, but doesn't have stick, doesn't have any mana regen whatsoever. Emo is level 6. Echo still needs a couple of creeps to be level 6 of his own.
That was not really a great move from Yakult over in that top lane, but now they're going to go for something mid. Icarus dive, telekinesis. Emo now in trouble. Ooh, the remnant lands, and he has to ball lightning away. The last fire spirit hits, though.
Woo. They would definitely love to pick this one up.
He's going to die, but that is going to be a secured regen rune for the side of Tearlaments.
It was a nice try. Emo tried to zip in and pull him into Bramble to get an extra bit of a control. It's level 1 Bramble. It's also level 1 pull, so the distance is only 180, which is not the greatest. You need to have like the perfect timing and perfect distance to be able to pull him in.
Emo TP top. He wants to be very active, it seems, at level 6.
Ooh. Behind enemy tower. It's still gonna be good damage to the tower. Spirit Collector on Dead Prophet sitting at 4 currently.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
7-minute wisdom. Bobica gonna grab that just about level 5. And Old 11's been playing pretty far forward. I mean, not punished himself for this. And Emo kind of sticking around. Void Spirit being level 6 and just having the dissimulate as well makes him pretty elusive, but there's definitely a chance that if the TA gets a little bit too comfortable, they just go over top and get this kill with a ball lightning, a vortex, and some help from Old 11 and maybe a Bramble. They'd have the tools necessary to get this kill. It's just whether or not Emo wants to commit off the jungle. He is level 7 and does see ZZQ. But alone, I don't think he gets that kill.
Yes, ZZQ is like, you're not going for me anyway. I will take the Watcher. Gonna be bottom again.
Reeling him in. Now they've got the Vortex, Sunray, Astral Step. Very, very difficult to get this kill in Echo. And the invisibility rune picked up by 7E. So far, the first 2 power runes have been controlled by Tearlaments. That being said, game 1 net worth was at this point already favoring Tearlaments at 2 to 3k, and telekinesis to simulate ball lightning. Emo has some mana to work with, not a lot of health, but you know Emo likes to play on the edge, and he might be so willing to jump back in if the opportunity presented itself. Things quiet after those two couple of skirmishes. And Old 11 just farming up here, but now they find this Brewmaster who's still just level 5, doesn't have access to the primal split. That means they'll get a kill. Emo finally finding something that he can control long enough to get something.
He was playing behind enemy towers for way too long, knowing that he can't really stand his ground in the lane against Lifestealer. This is also a free Lifestealer game to start with. In terms of control, you really don't have much. And I'm also seeing that Echo is not going for Aghanim Scepter as his first item, which also means that you're not going to be able to instantly silence Lifestealer, maybe with the trap from TA, but in terms of control, he should be getting his spell off. There's nothing to stop the BKB TP with, so can easily use Rage, TP out, and I really like that he's rushing Radiance, no Armlet, no shenanigans, knows that this matchup against Temporary Assassin and knowing that he has that good of a start, so he doesn't need to go for it. And they will clear some of the stacks, maybe try to stack it one more time.
Looking to control another power rune, but this time finally bottled up by Emo. They get their hands on their first power rune. ZZQ mirroring the movement of Emo as he starts to walk towards this top lane. Again, he's going to show top to try and get a kill here. A lot of traps set up if they try to make this jump, and Flyfly even joining in to get this tier 1 tower. So they may not get the kill here onto the TA, but they're willing to make the move and at least secure the tower. They have Exo if they want to play even more aggressive, or maybe even send Old 11 through the Twin Gate there too to go push that bottom tier 1, but he doesn't need to move off the lane. It's free for him now. TA's been pushed all the way back. ZZQ not showing up, so Old 11 has a free lane as this Death Prophet.
And also going for a very interesting build. Like, I know that that Prophet is a witch, so it makes a lot of synergy to go for the Witch Blade. It's also a good way of dealing with refraction, damage over time. Having True Strike against Brewmaster could come in handy against Radiance, against his Drunken Brawler, Mischance against Phoenix.
See what he wants after that too. I mean, this is definitely something a little bit out there. The game's quiet and it worries me for Tearlaments. You know, you're giving this free timing to Radiance for Flyfly. You're giving the Death Prophet a free lane. Emo's not really getting a lot in terms of movements, but for now, I think everybody's okay with this on Yakult, at least. But what do you think about Tearlaments having this slow start?
They will hit the timing once they pick up Deso, Blink, Contemporary Assassin, Radiance, and Brewmaster. TA. Like, they need another good 4 or 5, maybe even 6 minutes to be able to get those items, and this is where they're going to be starting to get some fights without trying to lose too much map advantage. A bit of a slower game again. Lifestealer has Relic already being delivered on the courier. Just needs Falcon Activation, which he's going to be able to farm in the next 2 minutes or so.
So he'll have that Radiance to match that timing. TP attempts, Astral Step, eat the Remnant. Oh! Echo. Missing that Remnant, not stopping that TP. They do end up stealing Bedouin, but that's not exactly the best spell if you can't get in close.
I think Bedlam might be one of their better overall spell. Like, Song is nice, Exo is nice. These are ultis we're talking about. Storm Spirit Zip is fine if you have enough mana to use it, but there isn't anything like super massive. We haven't even seen Exo being used at all.
No. They'll rotate over. Having control of Old 11 and throwing the Bedlam down is definitely enough damage if they can get that solo target. And we'll have have that Bedlam, will have that damage with the Sunray, and oh no! Ooh, pop the Exo just to die.
Not sure what the plan there was. Old 11. This is why we say he's basically flip a coin. You don't know what you're getting.
That completely slows things down. There will be no push with that Exo. It'll be on cooldown for the next 2 minutes. But things overall just farm, farm, farm. Lifestealer soon to have that Radiance. And if this is now the second game in which the game overall, the game state has been very quiet. And this time around, Emo going for that Orchid. So Orchid, Radiance. Old 11 going to make up for that death by picking up the Shrine of Wisdom. And after the Witchblade, now he's going into the BKB. So Old 11's just trying to be able to stand his ground with a BKB. Don't hate it.
Something just popped into my head. Was Old 11 at one point called Young 11, or was that a different player?
Get the kill in AFA. I think he might have just been 11, but he was never. I don't know if he was Young 11. I think he was
I remember
just
somebody
11.
being called Young 11, and then they had a team called like Old Chicken, Old 11.
I don't know if I might have been Young Chicken because he became Old Chicken. I don't know if maybe
Maybe I mixed it up.
Let me see, because I feel like you're right, but Old Chicken also just says Old Chicken. It doesn't say he was Young Chicken, but that was when they were together. They were together on
not again.
Team Game, and he just died. This might be back to back. Terrorize Bedlam, they get the kill. Steals Bedlam again. But is it going to be enough to get Fly? At least for now, it's looking a little bit likely. But Infest pops it out. Assimilate doesn't connect. Shadow Realm now trying to TP away and escapes again in front of these heroes.
They have very limited lockdown. Boboka. Nicely done. Echo even going to tip him, but Brewmaster, 2 back-to-back deaths. He's going to delay his Radiance timing and simping in again.
Orchid and the ball lightning over. They have that extra help. They go to the song. Ooh, 3 heroes are set up in a so bad way
if
right
they
now.
land the silence, all 3 are dead.
Oh, they go to the Supernova. They're going to be able to pop this egg so quickly. Both supports are gone. Down goes the TA. 4 heroes dead on the side of Tearlaments.
Man, this Orchid pickup, really valuable from Emo. Understanding that they need extra bit of a control. They need somebody to start a fight, and then they can layer their own spells. They can use Dead Prophet Silence. They can use Terrorize or Bedlam from Dark Willow. And Manta style, Echo is very close to it. Needs another 900 gold, but maybe they can try to kill him one more time before he gets it.
They can definitely try to kill Echo again with the Orchid. Be curious to see if they make the jump again, but they don't have Exo. Fly still just pushing bottom, doing his thing. 70. Not really the best game for him on this Rubik. Not really too much of a surprise, though. And now, 70. In trouble once more and dead again. Emo getting that kill. Icarus dive looking for Ollie.
Ollie has 21 charges plus mech plus raindrop. He's going to be more than fine.
Looks like it.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, there really isn't much going right now for Tearlaments, and Lifestealer just hitting away at AFA. Who's got the primal split, but you don't want to really use it there. You won't have to, which is good for him, but Nothing really getting put together for this Dire side at all. And Emo again in with this Orchid. Quick kill on a ZZQ. Pendulum stolen again, but this is a Rubik that hasn't been able to make much work, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the big timing for them. Radiance, Deso, Manta, plus Blink Dagger on Temporal Assassin. It's just that Orchid and the boost from Yakult Brothers kind of ruined their timing. 11, or Old 11. They are the same player, by the way. And there was also Old Chicken, who played for Ehome and Keen. So I had that mixed up.
That's what I said. Roche should be easily taken here with the Saxo. I mean, there's not really much that Tearlaments can do to deter this or stop this. They can give it a shot, but they might lose way more than they bargained for. Not even going to try and go for it. They're actually going to move their way towards bottom. They want to go for Fly. He seems like the only viable option at the moment.
He can always rage TP out.
Oh, hit that rage. Will TP. The Astral Step. The damage not enough. Just
Essence Ring.
Not
actually
enough.
Making the difference.
Yeah,
Having
have
extra bit of a
Essence
spell life
rings.
steal. Yeah. That he did have with Radiance. And popping the Essence Ring. 240 HP. Did make the difference.
11-3. With 11,000, 12,000 net worth lead, they'll take a tier 1 tower over bottom. But they're going to need way more. Got the BKB on Old 11. That's all set, dandy, and good. It will Steel Rage. Again, not the best spell for Rubik.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing for yourself. What do you bring to the table as Rubik? You have Fate Bolt on 10-second cooldown. You have Lift level 1, which is basically not a real stun on 23-second cooldown. And you have a Arcane Supremacy. That's it. At least you have some magic resistance as Rubik, so that's nice.
Sure. Blinding in, they go to the Orchid. They've got the Vortex. Telekinesis used by 70. The Sunray going to heal him up. But now he'll Primal Split. And the side of Yakult will start to run the other way. But they do have Exo off cooldown now. And they will use it immediately. Throw that silence out, lands onto 2 heroes. They should be able to get the kill on ZZQ, and Emo's trying to follow up onto Echo. While they'll focus their attention on the rest for this Rubik. Another Astral Step and an Aether Remnant. They won't be able to get their hands on Echo, but they do get full supports. And they are looking to push the tier 2 tower in the top lane with the rest of this Exorcism. But eventually, Emo gets the pull and gets the kill. Meanwhile, Fly, he gets this Brewmaster too.
I think they could GG out. One more fight, because these heroes are not that good at playing from behind. Like, if you look at Brewmaster's items, he did have double bracer. He sold one of the bracers just to buy Radiance, and now he purchased Windlace. That's his item. This is a very weird looking inventory from Brewmaster.
Not the best inventory overall. Arcane Rune top. Emo picks that up. Other than the 2 power runes to start, it's been mostly controlled by Yakult. Shard for Ollie, which is always good, especially level 2 Song of the Siren. And max HP regen per second on the song, which is a great feeling. Smoke, they're gonna have to stop this Icarus dive, or well, maybe they don't need to, because Fly will be ready for it. He's got the open wounds, and they have the reel in. They should get a kill there. ZZQ is dead again, and it is now 1k per kill on the net worth difference for Yakult.
You know what I always say. This is the pretty much GG out territory. They're going for the high ground. Aegis still up and running for another minute on Emo.
Orchid just keeping Brewmaster back. TA finally forced the TP over. Has the Deso, has the Hurricane Pike, but they're going to need the damage. Vortex, Astral Step, and they'll dissimulate, but I don't know if it's going to matter. Erica's still on the run, gets the refraction off. They hit that Terrorize, it lands onto the Void Spirit, but the Astral Step, Infest on Old 11, they get the Aegis out of the hands of Emo. At least that's something. Supernova. Aether Remnant, song used. Emo in some trouble, but survives with the BKB now being popped here by Old 11. The song will heal them up a little bit. They get the kills, they'll get the GG call, and it's a 2-0 for Yakult, putting them in the upper bracket final.
This one played out kind of as we expected it. First